Mr. Cottrell here with 29 Palm Science. Today we're going to see how speeding cars are like particles and how particles are like speeding cars. We'll use some Mythbusters video to understand this. Now, when we saw in the video the car hit the wall, did we see temperature in the video? You can see, did you see different pressures in the video? You can see damage, but you must infer pressure. Pressure is a force per unit area. Can you see force per unit area? For example, is the hand sitting or pushing on the book? You can't tell, so you can't see pressure or force. Thermal energy is total kinetic energy. Do you see energy in this video? No. Do you see motion? Right, you see motion. Kinetic energy is motion, so it looks like motion. Kinetic energy is really motion. What does speed have to do with pressure on the wall? Well, a greater speed, the more force with which the car hits. So motion is the energy causing pressure. So moving particles can apply a force. The impact of moving particles applies a force. Here we see particles in a cylinder, and they are pushing on a piston. They are applying force. We can see a diagram here where the force exerted is in red. So kinetic energy is really particle motion. Temperature is just a measure of the speed of that motion. Particle motion is the energy causing pressure. Particle motion is kinetic energy. Energy doesn't cause motion. They are the same thing. Energy and motion are one. Moving things can move other things. This ability to move something is called energy. It's just, energy is a generic term for the ability to move something. Speeding cars are like particles. So let's look at some particles. Thermal energy is total kinetic energy. Do you see thermal or kinetic energy, or do you see motion? I see motion in the particles. Just like cars, you see motion, not temperature or pressure. The motion is what is happening. Temperature is a measure of the speed of this motion. Temperature doesn't cause the motion. We can look and see with the low thermometer, there's a little bit of motion. With the high thermometer, there's a whole lot of motion. And we can see motion on the pollen grains on the left. Motion is causing pressure. Motion causes impacts. So the more motion, there'll be more pressure. Now, impacts can transfer the motion. If we look at the particles hitting the pressure gauge in this simulation on the left, you can see each particle, when it hits, it raises the pressure gauge. Kinetic energy is really motion. Temperature is a measure of the speed of motion. Motion is energy causing pressure. So let's remember that. Particle motion is kinetic energy. Energy doesn't cause motion. They are the same thing. Energy and motion are one. We can see energy we can see particle motion and we can see car motion. So anyway, let's relate this to energy. Moving things can move other things. This ability to move something is called energy. Thank you very much.